Okay, something a little bit different in this video. I thought I'd do a quick review of the Diego Maradona, the documentary stroke film. I went to the cinema yesterday to watch that. Now, even took the wife along. When I mentioned booking the tickets, she may have got slightly confused when I said Diego Maradona, because I think she thought she was going to watch a documentary about Madonna, the pop star. But anyway, she went and she quite enjoyed it. But really interesting documentary, very long. It's I think it's just over 2 hours long, and it's cleverly pieced together with all old footage, going back over the years. And it's great. It starts off, it's really centered around his time at Naples. There's a little bit at the start of the film where it looks at him at Boca Juniors and shows a little bit of footage and his story as Boca Juniors. And then he's transferred to Barcelona. Again, some terrific footage of him at Barcelona, and particularly where he sustained the bad injury on his ankle. Some of the close-up footage of some of the old games is brilliant. But then after about 5-10 minutes, it quickly moves on to him arriving at Naples. And when you see the scenes of how they greeted him in Naples at the time, unbelievable. They actually, he was like a absolute world superstar arriving in Naples. And, there's footage sort of showing the cars racing through the streets as he's driven to the stadium and presented to the press and that. An awful lot of the film is centered around Naples and the alleged connection to the Italian mafia and the money that I wasn't aware that they say it was mafia money that brought him there. And it showed how Maradona took Naples from a team that were nearly relegated the season before. I think his first season finished 8th in the league, and it showed quite a bit of footage from that, and then how they progressed to winning the Italian Serie A title the following year. There's quite a little bit of footage on the World Cup, and obviously that famous hand of God incident, and his terrific second goal in the match against England afterwards. I mean, the guy was an absolute genius at his best, and an absolute idiot at his worst. But then a bit more footage of then showing him winning the second Serie A championship with Naples. And there's some terrific footage of the dressing room and the players singing, and even the president getting involved. Some really good footage of pieced together. I mean, it must have been a massive job piecing 2 hours of old footage together to come up with what is a really good documentary. It was really interesting. Obviously, we're in the transfer window now here. It was really interesting because Maradona, he sort of implies his downfall and getting into the drugs and cocaine at Naples was because he wanted to leave Naples, and the president wouldn't let him. In fact, the president is interviewed on the thing and said, I wasn't going to let him go. And that was from an era when the clubs held the power, and the owners of the clubs held the power over the players, and not like today where it tends to be the players that hold all the power. So, like I say, long documentary film, roughly just about 2 hours long. Some great old footage and some really good close-up of his footwork on the pitch and his skill, and you saw some of the bruising tackles he had to endure. He really was hacked down as a player to try and stop him, and there's some great footage showing some of the tackles going in on him. And it sort of showed him in the early days he perhaps got knocked off the ball a little bit easy, and as he sort of filled out and muscled up a little bit, he sort of bounced off players. So it's great to watch it. Obviously, the back end of the documentary is about when he got into the cocaine scene in Naples and the nightlife and the women, and it finishes with some footage of him showing him as an older guy. There's even footage of him on some five-a-side pitch playing with some kids and that, and he's ballooned. He looks like he can hardly even move, and it's quite sad to see at the end, and probably a career that was ended a little bit sooner than it should be. But would I recommend going and seeing it? Yes, I would. Just bear in mind it is a long one. If you take somebody along who's not particularly football mad, I think they'll enjoy it, but perhaps not as much as you. But you know, if you do go and see it, let me know in the comments what you think about it, and thanks again for watching.